All right, I'm playing some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022. This footage is from just under a month ago. It's 6v6 team deathmatch on the Albaran Hatchery map. Thematically, it's inspired by one of the campaign missions in which you play as Gaz. And you've got Price leading the way. You infiltrate an enemy hideout, fighting your way through buildings like these ones, a hatchery. It's not the exact same space as the campaign mission, but definitely similar assets. I get headshotted. For this match, I'm using this sniper rifle. I believe it's the SPR. Got a multi-zoom scope, laser sight that improves aim down speed. I'm on the Cortac faction. My operator of choice is Valeria. I'm using her default skin, in which she's got a tank top. Her skin tone really makes her stand out in environments, though, so that's a detriment. The character is pretty popular. I get a shot off, but it's poorly aimed. Rise above hate. That's an interesting handle. Season 3 is almost over. I think there's a handful of days left. I bought the battle pass. I've earned back all of my COD points. That's a nice long shot kill. I haven't bought the upgrade, but I've earned everything within the battle pass. I've done that a couple of weeks ago. I haven't been playing this game much over the past couple of weeks. I've mostly been playing the Resident Evil 4 remake. But I'll check out Season 4. So this map is the third of the 3 new maps that have been introduced in Season 3, the other 2 being Black Gold and Peleos Lighthouse. There's a sweet kill. Not a headshot technically, but a penetration kill according to the kill feed. Nonetheless, great kill, if I may say. We're up 5. There's a miss. Got a hit marker there. I don't think players can see my laser sight while I'm aiming. You might have noticed the packet burst indicator in the HUD, the top left corner along the compass. That's been a common occurrence for me throughout the season. Packet burst and latency variation. Whatever it's called. I don't know if it's my connection or the game servers, but it really hinders the experience and makes me want to not play. I'm also noticing that this footage is kind of blurry, especially the text. I don't know if it's my recording settings or my external GPU or eGPU. Again, maybe it has something to do with the game's network code. Maybe it's my game options. You actually can choose the quality of the textures to limit bandwidth. if you want. I don't know for you who's watching if you have an eGPU, but I use a Mac Mini, an Intel-based Mac Mini, and I boot into Windows using Boot Camp. But probably over the past month, I've been encountering an error 12 or code 12 error. So I can't really use the eGPU in the way that I want to. Apparently it's not an uncommon experience that people have. Sucks. I think I'm recording with OBS in this match. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe the bitrate isn't high enough. Or maybe it's the file format that I've chosen. We're up to... This match has been close the whole way through. The announcer said the enemy has a lead, but as of right now, we've got the lead. I wonder if Activision Blizzard will ever make a VR COD game. The series has been around for so long, it's easy to forget that it's originated as a World War II series like Medal of Honor, and there's been a VR exclusive Medal of Honor game. I bring up VR because this past week, Meta has announced officially their Quest 3 headset. And Apple has announced their Apple Vision Pro VR AR headset. Although I would be inclined to call it more of a visor than a headset. I guess it's more semantics, but it'll be interesting to see if down the road there'll be military themed first-person shooters for VR platforms. I know there's one game, I think it's called Pavlov. It seems to be popular. There might be other games, Milsim games or Milsim-esque games for VR platforms. That player's trying to pull a fast one on me. I don't think so. Ooh, and I get shot shortly afterward. I think it's happened 3 times. I snipe somebody and then within seconds I get sniped. I didn't even get a kill that time. There I get a kill. Revenge right away. That's par for the course on this map. Just sniper shots for days. I definitely rule the roost. But if you're a close quarters player, you can move through the buildings in spaces like these generators. It's good variety. Good design on paper, in theory. I wouldn't say that it's among my favorites, though. I tend to not do particularly well on this hatchery map. Took too long. I'm noticing a lot of like glitching in this footage. I don't know if it's software recording settings or maybe my hardware, a capture card. I don't think my gameplay would have been glitching like this. It's really more the capture. Teammate gets that kill. I think I marked him. That opponent. I try to mark. Ping. It's a great mounted kill. Once again. Snipe and then get sniped. Going back to pings, there's a handful of more advanced options. Headshot kill with the gun I picked up. Going back to the options, there's like, they're almost like a set of orders to let people know. Orders and messages to let people know that you're looking or surveying an area, for example, or instructing teammates to be quiet. Get headshotted. Not doing so well in this match, to be honest. We are just hanging on, up by 1. Up by 2, I placed a Claymore. Now we're up by 1. A Claymore puts us in match point, then my teammate wins it.
Victory secure. Good fighting.
We win by 3. I finished -6. But I'll take the W. And I enjoy these kind of close matches.